Monday Health Minutes, sponsored by Valley Health.
Hi, I'm Melanie Shafer. This is Monday Health Minutes with Valley Health. Starting school is such a big milestone for kids and for parents too, and you want your child to be successful. So how do you know if they are ready to start school, or maybe you need to work on a few things yet? We're talking with psychologist Dr. Rebecca Denning about that today. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. School is an exciting time for the kids to start, and everybody seems anxious to go. What are some of the things you can look for, some skills your child might need to say, yeah, we're ready to start school?
Sure. So as we start thinking about being in a school setting, there are early academic skills that we want to be supporting our kids in developing, things like letter recognition and counting. And really the best way to help our kids with that is to incorporate it in our everyday conversations, our everyday lives. So you're looking for those early academic skills, but you're also looking for some of the self-help skills, like your child being able to do some things independently, like toileting or zipping their jacket. Teachers and school staff do a lot of helping, that's a big part of it, but we want them to be able to do some of those things independently. There are also those social emotional skills that we want our kids to be able to have by the time they start school. We want our kids to be able to tolerate waiting, tolerate frustration, to have some of the skills for sharing with other kids. So as you're thinking about that decision, thinking about are we ready or not quite ready, those are some of the things you're looking for. But I think it's important to remember you don't have to make that determination alone. You know, you can talk with the school and talk with them about what you see as your child's strengths and the things that they have more difficulty with, and get feedback there as well.
That's a very good point, because there's so many supports at school that can help you make this decision. And schools does start earlier and earlier these days. There's pre-K, there's kindergarten, so it seems like, we're not going at that 5 benchmark anymore. It's earlier and earlier. Are there any habits that would really clue you into, we need to maybe work on this quite a bit?
I think some of the social and emotional regulation skills in particular might be warning signs, because you want to set your child up for a good school experience. We want them to be set up to make friends and to enjoy school and to be able to get what they need out of school, and that's going to be hard if they're having a difficult time regulating their emotions and their own behaviors. So if we make a decision to hold off based on that, I think we want to do it with a plan in place for how are we going to help support and develop those skills in the meantime.
Some people feel like it's better to start on time and see how it goes and maybe decide to repeat a grade later. Is there a preference over that, or what are some of the things that parents can think about on that front?
I think you're trying to weigh out the pros and cons of different approaches. So if you have the concerns that maybe my child isn't quite ready to go, and you're talking with the school trying to make that decision to hold off a year or start and consider repeating that year at the end, I think you're thinking about, will that school setting help them to develop what they need without being disruptive and aversive for them and for others, or are we going to be better off trying to support that development outside of the classroom?
And you mentioned, if we decide it's not quite the right time, you do need sort of a plan on how you're going to get ready for the next go round. Reading, writing, what are some of the things that parents can really help and foster that development so they're ready to go for the next time?
Yeah, well, there are things like if you're working on letter recognition, as you're out and about, pointing out even letters on signs and involving your child in games, noticing the things around them that are part of that skill set. Or if you're working on like fine motor skills, coloring or drawing together, or practicing with buttons and zippers and these kinds of things. And if you're working on some of those self-regulation sorts of skills, when you're playing with your kiddo and you see them tolerating frustration, like maybe they were building something and it just kind of collapsed, you want to be able to jump in there and say, oh, that's frustrating, I'm so proud of you for staying calm, and help support those skills. But another big piece of that is going to be modeling ourselves.
That's hard.
So yeah, kids
Keeping your
learn
cool,
through that.
right?
It is, especially because often for many of us, by the time we're with our kids, we're already tired and strained, and we're trying to get all the things done so we can all get in bed on time. And so it is hard to keep in mind that your child is watching how do you handle it when you're tired and you're frustrated, you're not getting your way. But they learn through that modeling, so it's an important thing to keep in mind.
Yes, we need to do our best so they can do their best. Right?
Absolutely.
We're all learning together. All right. Dr. Denny, thank you so much for being here. It's a big subject as people start getting ready to get in that school mode. Are we ready? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for checking in on Monday Health Minutes.